neurons will fire from the left side and to the right side of the brain. So when you engage in a sensory kind of a behavior, be it tactile or tree or olfactory, the brain functions the neurons will connect and you will actually learn better. So you actually need to move to actually learn.
I see. So I've actually learned about this thing online called the sensory diet. Could you please elaborate more about what that means to a neurodivergent child?
All right. Just as everyone has that, right? Right? So, actually all have sensory diet. So we do touch a thing, or we do smell a certain thing, then we feel comfortable. So in this instance, a child with special needs who is tactile seeking would need to touch a particular texture. It could be like something like your hair, for instance, or it could be something that is hard, or someone who is has an oral sensation, wants to bite on something, and that's when like people start biting on pencil, what do you call it, pencil tips and stuff like that. Yeah.
I see. So it seems like along with the normal diet, we all have sensory diets, but we take them so much for granted. What is another thing that you think a lot of people take for granted that people with children with special needs need to take special care of them? And what do you think are some of the misunderstandings spread by perhaps education or society about children with special needs?
Well, thanks for bringing that up. I think one of the important aspects of special needs, I mean, there is awareness. Earlier on, you talked about the Lien Foundation survey, right? Interestingly, I met with them about a week or two ago. They're actually doing this program called Superhero Me, and it's a very, very interesting program to help should I say, inclusion. So when I met with them, Lien Foundation is very much into inclusion, and the social factor will be working with them on some of the initiatives. But the whole idea about that is about inclusion. I find that the idea that there is an awareness about special needs, but there's not enough discussion about that. Say, last year, very popular, right? There was a section on special needs, and very often I feel to have this element, this matched in a national scene and private scene as well, as part of the as a national speech. So this has been managed, but it's all about awareness, and there's not enough inclusion. That's what I really feel. Yeah.
I see. So up till now, we have been discussing using terms like inclusion, integration, neurotypical, and neurodivergent. If it is possible, could you please define some of these terms and what exactly is the difference between awareness and total inclusion?
Okay, when you talk about neurotypical, it just means that typical brain. So neuro brain typical. Neurodivergent, divergent brain. So somebody with special needs, it's not because the person's crazy. I mean, that's the often thought about is that they're weird or they're strange. But in reality, it's just about the physiology. It could be just about that. Recent research findings actually show that there are difference in the way the neurons fire, and it's to do with physiology. So that's why it's neurotypical and neuroatypical or neurodivergent, as you pointed out earlier on. Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much for elaborating on that. And this has been Heart to Heart on Radio Heatwave, and you're with Wayne. My guest, Mr. Mark Lim, founder of The Social Factor, and I have been discussing the sensory diet and how we can fill up on that as well, and why children with special needs need to fill up on their sensory diet in order to learn, function, and have fun. So if you have a question for Mr. Mark Lim, our phone lines are open now. Call us at 646-8452. That's 646-8452. Don't go away.
With Martin in the studio. #selfie, #throwback Thursday.
Really, D? That is so last week. Haven't you heard of
Way Back Wednesdays?
Join D
and Martin as we take you on a journey way back
every Wednesday with classic hits
and classic tales from 4 to 6 p.m.
only on the hottest thing on campus, Radio Heatwave.
Hey guys, we should start a band.
I can sing and play the ukulele.
Ooh, and I can play the violin.
And I can sing like Frank Sinatra. Can't help falling in love with you.
You know what? We should just stick with watching other bands.
Tune in to Gig Up every day from Danny and Sophie.
For the latest concerts, local gigs,
And the occasional FM.
On the Hot Content, Beatwave.
Hey guys, Jordan Ben.
And I'm Noel, and we're from the Hellos.
Hey, it's Vinny and John. On from Internet. We're still rating the hottest ones.
Welcome back to Heart on Radio Heat. I'm here with Mr. Mark Lim. Mr. Lim is the trainer and manager of Social Factor, a consultancy firm that works with special education. and today we are talking about children with special needs and what inclusion means to them in education and society. If you have any questions, please dial 6460852. That's 6460852. Hi, Radio Heatwave. Who's on the line?
Hi, I'm Maurice.
So, hi, Morris. What is the question you have for Mr. Lim?
So, the other day, I saw a special needs child on the tree.